Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. Happy Monday. Today I'm going to be recording a CGC send-off video. You'll see on the right side, I actually have my camera in the wrong spot, a PWCC packing list. So today's video, first half, I'm going to show you the 25 cards that I'm sending, and the second half I'm going to show you the submission process and talk about the new partnership between CGC and PWCC that I'm utilizing to send these cards. So let's get right into it. We've got a Staff Snorlax. We've got a Mothman from Magicast, a little April Fool's set that they had. They got the little Metapoo thing going on down there. The nice little poop logo. We've got Entei Gold Star, one of the Gold Star dogs that everyone knows that there was a horde of a long time ago. This was a binder copy. I just am interested to see how CGC grades it. It's got a pretty bad crease on the back. You probably can't see it through the card saver. But yeah, it's got a pretty bad crease. It would be a PSA 5 or 6 at best. Interested to see how it comes out at CGC. It's more than just a corner crease, so it could be like PSA 2, 3. It could be looking like a CGC 4, 5. I don't know. But a couple modern cards that I just pulled out of a binder or happened to find somewhere. The Nagaba, I don't even know how to say that. A couple of these funny looking promos. We've got an ultra modern 10-cent card in this Pikachu from Celebrations. We've got a Bunny Man that you did see in a return video. This was a PSA 6 due to a crease or indent somewhere. So we've got a couple Bumblebee Pikachus, a pretty ubiquitous promo that most people have seen and probably have in their collection. We've got 2 each of the 3 easy Scream promos. So these are the Rowlet, Psyduck, and Eevees. And then we've got a couple Greninja Gold Stars. We've got 1 of each of the original 3 Evolution promos from a Sword and Shield collection box, and then a couple Ancient Mews. So I guess I'll continue to talk here a little bit, but here's what the packing slip looks like. I've got my shipping address covered up, and then I'm sending these for the weekly Sunday auction plus grading. There's 25 items in the submission. Estimated value, completely a guess there. $2,000 I put is probably roughly what the raw value is. Brought up by mainly the Scream promos, the sample, Bunny Man, and then the Grand Party, I guess, even though it's in rough shape. I guess the Entei Gold Star too. But a decent mix. What I wanted to do, I wanted to get a decent mix of like vintage, modern. We even got 1 Metazoo in there. I guess 2 Metazoo because of that Mothman as well. So I wanted to just get a little decent mix set up to send out here. And the way that this is going to work, it's going to be sent to PWCC. Within 10 business days, they do the grading at CGC. And then within the following few weeks, it will be put on the auction block for a weekly auction. So I'm doing this send-off video now. The next video that I make, I won't make it when I get the grades. Presumably, I'll get the grades sometime between now and when it goes on the auction block. But I will do a video actually showing you the very end of the process. And maybe I'll even do a nice little spreadsheet. No spreadsheet today, but kind of my cost basis for a lot of these cards. And then how it broke down to what I profited, if I profit, after the $20 fee per card. So $500 in grading fees here, plus the commissions as a percentage of how they fare at auction. So yeah, we see the cards there. Now we'll switch over to the PC where I will show you what it looks like on the website for doing an actual submission if you care to do one yourself. This video is not sponsored in any way. It's a new service. Yeah, when we switch over to the PC, I'll just talk through why I'm making the video and why I think it's an interesting service, why I'm giving it a shot. So yeah, I'll catch you over at the PC. Hey everyone, so we're back at the computer screen here, pwccmarketplace.com. I am logged in. I don't know if you need to be, you probably need to be to make a submission because they actually print out the packing list as you do it. And it will tie in like your personal information, your return address, and all that. So you need to be logged in on PWCC. And then if you scroll down to weekly Sunday auction, submit now. The way this service works, you don't submit to this service if you want to send raw cards and then have graded cards come back to your possession. This is if you want to send raw cards and have graded cards be sold on the open market through their weekly auctions. I've seen some interesting commentary about this, like almost doing that in a negative manner, dirty flippers, all this and that. For me, like I'm a one-man operation and I have limited time. So I'm not going to send all my inventory to this service, but I think that it, depending on how it goes, it could provide some value and utility to me to just offload a certain amount of cards periodically that I can just throw in a box, get rid of them, and then I save the 5 minutes per card to get them photographed and listed and figure out the pricing. And so these will just be raw cards to auction, turned around. Hopefully, I mean, the day that I'm recording this and the day I'm dropping them in the mail is May 6th. I'm hoping within about 2 months. So 10 business days, they say they'll be graded, and which is 2 weeks. And then within 2 to 3 more weeks, they should be put on the weekly auction. And I believe it's about 2 to 3 more weeks to get paid. So roughly a 2 calendar month turnaround time is what I'm looking for. You do have shipment on the way out. You don't have shipment on the way back because it's just going to be funds to your account. So I'm going to keep track of all that, and we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, having different ways to sell, some which are more labor intensive, some which are less. The more options, the better, in my opinion. So that's why I'm going ahead with it. So yeah, here's the submission form, new submission form. These are items in my possession, raw cards in my possession. Right here, it shows that they accept graded trading cards and all this and that. This is the same submission form, whether you're sending raw cards to use the joint PWCC CGC service or to just send directly to an auction. So I could also send a handful of slabs to directly sell them. But in this case, I'm trying out their new service, the new $20 per card service they have for raw. So yeah, I went to items in my possession. Next is submission type. If I were sending graded, I would now select weekly Sunday auction, send the graded cards right to the auction. But since I'm sending raw, this is where I'm going to select the weekly Sunday auction plus grading. And this is kind of working through the mechanics of it a bit deeper. Add professional grading to your weekly Sunday auction submission. PWCC is partnered with CGC and CSG. So I guess the umbrella company is CCG, Certified Collectibles Group. This will work for anything CGC grades or anything CSG grades. I don't really do sports cards. So you could see in my submission, it was Pokemon and Metazoo, two of the CGC services that they, two of the CGCs that they cover with their service. So preferential turn times and lower fees have been negotiated for all PWCC submitters. So that preferential turn times, that's a very interesting statement. Theoretically, and maybe we'll see the time balloon if people are utilizing this heavily. I'm interested to see if it sticks with a 10-day grading turnaround time. But for now, how it works, no upfront costs. I'm sending these cards raw. And I did mention when I was showing them, 25 cards times 20, that's $500 worth of grading fees. But as you'll see here, you don't pay that upfront. So I'm going to send these raw. They're going to get graded, go through the whole process, be auctioned. The 500 is going to come out at the end. So not only is my 500 going to come out, but the auction commission will come out at PWCC standard rates. So yeah, we'll use the proceeds from the sale to pay the grading fee and to pay the commissions on the sales. There's a flat fee of $20 per card, 10-day grading turnaround. Same fee for all cards. That's a very interesting statement as well. Regardless of genre, category, thickness, size, or value, you'll never pay more than $20 per card. Very interesting because I don't have anything crazy in here. I'm sure nothing would have been upcharged anyways. I guess the most borderline things would be maybe the screams if they hit a really good grade, or the sample Metazoo or the Grand Party. But I don't think any of these would have been upcharged through a normal service. But theoretically, this is basically stating you can send a base first edition Charizard and not be upcharged. I don't know that you'd want to use this service. It would be pretty risky. I'd rather grade with, I mean, depending on the condition of it, optimize between CGC and PSA and then like get it myself and do buy it now or whatever. But any quantity as well. No limit, no minimums, no maximums. They recommend $100 per card. Nick and Mason and I in the recent PokeFlips podcast, I guess to shout out the PokeFlips podcast. That's why I've got a little bit of a weird background here with the Utica Club stuff. Doing the whole Poke Purple Energy. Check them out on Instagram. A nice little thing. Poke Knowledge started up, and I took a picture of the slab with some things that were important to me, local to me, but shouting out a couple other things there. But yeah, over on the podcast, we did talk briefly about this service. I just wanted to make a separate video for it because I was going to be submitting through it. I'm interested to see, as we get into one of the later steps, it mentions a disclaimer as well. But if you send to them like folded in half base set unlimited Weedles, what happens when I send them complete junk and then it's graded terribly and it's worth nothing, and then it goes to a PWCC auction, fails to get a $10 bid, maybe even a $20 bid, maybe they start these at a higher number, I don't really know. What happens when it fails to be bid on and it just goes away? There was no payment made up front. I am someone who has a pretty substantial vault. They have collateral of mine. They would probably say, hey, even though your cards didn't get bids and they're gone now, you still owe us that $500. They have a bunch of cards in the vault. So against me, they have collateral, but presumably people who don't have a vault could use this service as well. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope if someone were to send really cheap, junky junk stuff, that PWCC would say like, hey, are you sure you want to send this? You're going to owe us whether it sells at the end or not. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we don't hear any horror stories coming out about that, but there's a consideration to be made on that. No forms to fill out. Literally all you have to do at the end, you have to print out the packing slip and then just send it to your vault address. It's the same address if you've ever submitted to the vault. Yeah, all cards are shipped directly from CCG after grading directly to PWCC to go to an auction. So this is the one I'm going to select, weekly Sunday auction plus grading. And you just put in how many items are in the submission. You put in the estimated value, and I didn't have a promo code or anything special. Again, this isn't a sponsored video or anything. This is just me utilizing a service and sharing my experience. So once you do all that, it will take you to where you print the form. And there was a disclaimer, as I mentioned. It says something about like, you need to make sure you're sending something that they actually grade. And then they send you a list of like, it links you to CGC on what they actually grade. So hopefully people don't run into sending too much stuff that doesn't get graded. I'm sure they'd probably charge you shipping to send it back to you. But in any case, like, a little bit of negativity around this. I think people, the whole junk slab flipper, this is the only application the service will have. I mentioned, to me, time is the biggest constraint. So having some amount of not entirely passive, but you're seeing this on Monday. On Friday, I'm going to have a video. I decided to do a CGC send off. So I'm going to be doing 50 cards through a middleman and 50 cards directly. And not that it was a ton of time, but like submitting those 50 cards directly took a half an hour, maybe. Manually entering it, half an hour is not a lot, but if and when it gets to where I'm sending 500 cards, that becomes more of a consideration. That's like a day's worth of work. So if I can just put them in a box and send them, and then they'll be automatically auctioned, things like that, that's a substantial amount of time you're freeing up. So the slightly more passive nature to move certain inventory. And I definitely wasn't one for pre-grading too much, but I mentioned the Grand Party's in rough shape, the Bunny Man samples in rough shape, but all the other ones I did try to pre-grade fairly extensively, just so that I'm not getting completely clobbered if I end up with 8.5s on these modern things that I'm sending, these Greninja Gold Stars that cost $2 raw. But yeah, really just wanted to check out the service and figured I might as well make a video of it, share my experience with you guys. Let me know in the comments below. I know a couple people that have already sent off earlier this week. I know some people who just think it's a terrible, horrible service. They hate PWCC, they hate CGC, and they don't want to touch it. Let me know your thoughts below. I appreciate everyone watching. Definitely do the like, subscribe, all that good stuff, affiliate link. I appreciate everyone who supports me through any of those means or just watches as well. Very much appreciated. But yeah, that's it for today. I have mentioned Monday videos are going to be where I lay out my schedule for the week. Wednesday, look forward to I'm looking forward to a video on my returns from Heritage, the box breakdown in Orlando. I got my cards back. I got my grades for those. I'll show you the raw cards. I might expand that into a bit bigger video. But yeah, really excited for that on Wednesday. And then Friday will be 100 card CGC send off. So I think it's going to be an interesting week for content. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.